Long ago, in the forgotten, mystical realms of the universe, there were families of shape-shifting spirits, and the strongest and mightiest of all these families is where our story begins. For amidst this omnipotent family was a gentle spirit, one who cared not for power and conquest. No, where Velia's heart truly lied was in peace and comfort and in a good, compassionate life. So when her family's journey across the galaxy brought them into the reaches of Earth, Abelia would soon realize her long sought afterlife was just a stone throw away. As residing over Earth was a school of koi fish spirits, blissfully floating in their pool, blowing through the streams and under the stars. When Abelia and her family passed over this pond, she became enthralled with a mere glance, watching them calmly swim as it brought tranquility and warmth to the humans below. Despite her initial hesitation, Abelia took the risk and parted from her family. She approached the pond, daring for a different life. Only once she opened her eyes did she see the stark contrast between those beside her from those looking down. How could one of their own choose a life of comfort over a life of strength and power? Wrought with betrayal, Abelia's family lashed out at the koi fish, shattering the cosmic pool. Their continued wrath sent the fish spirits flying across the realm while killing others. Abelia struggled against her family, resisted. She tried to fend off their aggression, tried to help protect the koi fish, tried to do what was right. But alas, she could not. Her family's rampage sent her tumbling downward towards Earth. Her world spun endlessly as she descended, morphing into a human as she fell. The first chance at a life she felt worth living. Innocent spirits who thought only to help others, destroyed by the very family she once loved. Too many restless nights she woke in fear, as if that day were repeating. Constantly swarmed with feelings of sadness, anger, and regret. For too long this nightmare haunted Abelia. Through a year living amongst humans, Abelia befriended many, learning to interact and grow with them, while slowly regaining her spiritual energy. She hoped to return to the realm above, promising one day to help the koi spirits who'd been so viciously removed from their home. And on a day like any other, Abelia caught the faintest hint of a distant spirit's presence. Could it be? Had the koi fish finally returned? In search of an answer, she rushed to the nearest place where it all began, a pure and innocent puddle. Abelia closed her eyes and focused, feeling the energy around her, seeking out any trace for the presence she sensed. The entire day passed and nothing. And yet, to her amazement, when she opened her eyes, she made it back to the spirit realm, once again amongst the stars. Filled with elation, she began to shift into all sorts of forms, flying this way and that way, bouncing and soaring through the skies. Abelia was embracing the freedom she so dearly missed. But these joyous moments would not last, for her memories would come flooding back. Heartache for those harmless spirits, and anger for her ruthless family. Desperate to know if the spirit pond survived, Abelia raced across the plain, frantically searching, hoping all wasn't lost. A glimmer from afar, and there it was. Against all odds and the shapeshifter's onslaught, the pond remained. In fact, there were even koi spirits swimming about. The fish held strong, but not all those who were alive had returned. Some were still lost, and until all those lost rejoined, the koi and the pond would not be able to completely heal. Determined to mend the ruin her family brought, she took up this quest with tenacity in her heart, setting off to search for the missing koi spirits. And thus, her hunt began. Abelia blazed through the cosmos, flying far and high as an eagle, scuttling into low, tiny areas as a stick bug. She encountered spirits of all kinds, from mighty dragons powered by myths and legends to sinister spiders feeding off the fears from others, unyielding in her persistence to locate the lost koi fish. In time, Abelia was able to track them all. Though the fish were weak and pale, one by one, she cradled them back to their home. At long last she had united them all. The home she so deeply wished to join was whole again. Breathing a sigh of relief, Abelia had finally... What was that? Looking around, there wasn't anything. No threat, no danger, nothing in sight. Suddenly the pond cracked. No, ends? Its base unfurled into a great amastic of tendrils. This was no pond. This was the horror of shapeshifters. Every single one combined, forming into this single illusion. There they had waited for Abelia's return. Their lust for revenge would only be sated with her death. As more of the pond disappeared, even more tendrils grew, soon enveloping all that Abelia could see. Any hope for escape vanished. The devious eyes of the shapeshifter's spirits danced with delight as they met Abelia's gaze. This was her nightmare born anew. Abelia enclosed herself around the koi as a great shark, shielding them, even if in vain. Regret filled her mind. If only she hadn't left the shapeshifters. If only she hadn't approached that pond. Gently and with tenderness, the fish spirits told Abelia to look below. Down on earth, she felt the humans she had befriended. Their love and companionship rang out to her. The koi gathered all the energy from her friends and humans abroad, flowing it all into her. She could feel the energy accumulating inside. So much power. Throughout the millenniums, only a few spirits had ever witnessed what was unfolding. Abelia was evolving into what most spirits dreamed of, a mythical spirit. The malevolent family of shapeshifters could only watch as their diminutive fury birthed the colossus. Abelia's tentacles gracefully unfolded to reveal her new form. Filled with rage, she let out a cry so thunderous it was heard across the cosmos. Staring lifelessly, the shapeshifters were paralyzed with fear. Taking action, Abelia plunged herself across the realm, trapping the shapeshifter family in her tendrils as she soared through the universe. There, at the end of all things, she spoke not but two words: never return. It was finally over. Her new life was ready to begin, a fresh start. She conjured up a pool for her new family to live in, a place where new memories could be made, a place she could call home. Months had passed, and the shapeshifters heeded Abelia's words. Peace and comfort had been restored to the humans. However, a part of her couldn't help but think of the humans below, their part in her gaining this newfound power. While she was reluctant, the koi fish encouraged her to return to the surface to join the humans once more. And so she did. Changing into a half-kraken, half-mortal being, she returned to the land of humans, all the while spreading serenity and warmth in the name of her new family.